Hello, collective. This is Sheila, your host, and welcome to Intentional Conversations. And so I hope you guys are having a great day. So we're going to get right into it for the collective. It looks like today's episode is going to be about discernment, as always. Not suspicious, not paranoid, but something about quiet clarity that helps you to recognize when something isn't clean, or even if it looks convincing. Some people may be seeing something or getting something or hearing something that they think is clean, but it's not, even when it's really convincing. And so this is what the collective is getting ready to experience. Either they have already experienced it or they're about to come to this realization that whatever they thought was good is not good. Okay, collective. So it seems like this is a male dynamic. So this is definitely involving a masculine in this energy. So, but let me see what we get here. So it looks like someone is out here. Um, how can I say this? It's like someone is out here truth seeking, right? But they're doing it in a very nasty way. They're turning things into like this obsession, fixation, where they're digging for dirt and they're doing it in such a nosy curiosity. It's not curiosity, it's more darker than a curiosity because they're doing it for their reach of control. So this is somebody who's could be at your job and they act cool to you, maybe at your job, maybe they look okay, you don't feel any tension, and when you say, hey, I'm getting off today early, this person will go up to two or three, maybe a group of co-workers, and start to whisper about you. And so someone may give them an idea to go look at their desks, and so it's now these people are at your desk, open up your drawers, looking through all your information, looking at your computer history, seeing what you have on your desk. And somebody's is looking through your file cabinets. Someone's doing some sort of digging for information for you about you, but they're doing it so they can control you in some way. It's almost like, again, somebody who wants to play puppeteer in those courts. And I do see that someone's wanting to hold strings to a situation, but they need information to do so. So there's someone out here who's not in a very good mental state right now, who maybe have created some sort of narrative about you, and it's kind of created some sort of confusion. I see one person, one moment they're cool, one minute they're not. So this is somebody who's playing an acting role or a persona to the collective. So someone out here in the collective, in this community, is doing some sort of mixed motive with a lot of emotions to it. And this could be something that would make people feel a way. So someone is talking about their lack of ability to either make money, to be in a position, to have opportunities, and whatever they're saying to this collective of people or community, people are feeling, oh, let me hold your hand, somebody's pulling emotional strings and is puppeteering people to behave almost in unaware malice, unaware some sort of emotional entanglement to the point where they are they are manipulating a group through this indirect mind game and this impersonation. They're also trying to make people believe in them in a certain way. It's causing people to see what is happening is someone's impersonating someone, almost like identity theft. But what they're doing is that whatever this person's seeking from you, collective, they are trying to embody it like it's them. So it's you, but they're trying to, if you're an actor, they want to be an actor, but they want to call themselves the actor. Maybe say, I'm Denzel Washington. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Denzel Washington. It's kind of getting that kind of vibe. Like they want to talk like Denzel Washington. They want to act like Denzel Washington. They want, whatever Denzel's persona, his mannerism, his the way he communicates with people, the way people see him. Somebody wants to impersonate that exact frequency or that exact vibe, and they're dirt digging. They're looking up all their family on Facebook. They going to their job and seeing their work history. I mean, somebody's going to extreme, almost like very invasive psychic detective without the authority to do so, or maybe they do have some sort of access, and they're applying to all of your family's information, your information, and is causing some sort of technology, maybe technology based, some sort of fraudulent crime, maybe even possibly. So this is what's happening in the collective. Somebody's digging for dirt, honey, trying to say they're proclaiming truth in a matter. So someone could be lying and gossiping about you, maybe saying that you did something, maybe that you're partaking of behavior that is not the most positive, and they're trying to prove it. And that's the weird part, is that it's almost like they're harassing someone that's completely innocent and off to themselves and a very positive individual, and now they're trying to use this communication, this emotional strings on people to for their mixed motive. One minute they're cool, one minute they're not, and whatever this emotional pressure that they're applying on this community, based on this lack mindset, maybe poverty mindset, creating a is creating an appearance it's creating an appearance where people are being misdirected and not seeing the whole full picture. So is often being directed into missing something in some regards. And right now there's a group, or yeah, it's a group of friends. It could be a group of a couple. It could be a work environment, which is a group of people. But whatever it is, this group, employees, friendship, maybe even a relationship or family, they are relying on being loyal to someone over integrity. So this is to someone who does not have been corrected on their behavior, maybe they haven't created any boundaries to maintain this network of people or this job environment. They're not following the rules, or they're not staying in compliance. Whatever it is causing some sort of confusion, because there's a unconditional love environment. Like I'm here, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna act the way I want to act, and it's creating this kind of emotional manipulation where it has become extremely toxic, where no one has any sort of control or boundaries in a situation, and this person is reached the levels beyond boundaries where uh, maybe it's too late now. So there's not a real inclusion with this group. It doesn't require you to perform or anything like that, but I do see that someone maybe wants people to be solid in the mix of this confusion. So it's almost like if you're in a group, you have to think like the group, you have to be the group. It's like it's not your own individual identity in this group. Wherever they say may goes in a certain degree. So you don't have your that normal authority like everybody else, maybe in other places. And somehow someone is wanting you to abandon your intuition to belong. And what it is someone could be doing this, say, hey, we invite you to this place, or, we want you to come to this job, but to belong, you have to, something has to go, you know. But they're not telling you that. They're trying to control something. They may be trying to control your intuition. They may be trying to control your skill set, your acting skills. Like, you're a talented individual. How much control can someone have off of a natural talent? Don't ask me. But someone is trying to either present something in a way to you where you may not want to accept. It's going to have you losing out in a sense by dealing with this person, because you want to belong to something, but it's really control. It's almost like somebody says, I want to be your handler type of environment. Somebody maybe actually kind of is presenting that type of environment where they're coming around to you, they want to rub their hands around you, talk sweet to you, and the whole time they want to be your handler in some sort of aspects. Whatever they say, you believe, and you do this and I do that, and you know whatever it is, they want you to kind of be on command to whatever they're saying to you. Okay, this is for the collective. So this is somebody who you don't need to argue with this person. You don't need to shout out your intuition to this person. So, like as I'm doing this podcast, keep it cool, keep it relaxed, and don't make it about people. Just focus on the natural patterns of the collective, and you'll be fine. But don't get into these arguments with this person or this group, whatever it is. Just don't get into the arguments. It's not gonna. It's nothing. You don't need to expose anybody. Nobody. It's not even that kind of energy now. Somebody's maybe thinking they're gonna get exposed for something, but I don't see that. I see a quiet ending or a quiet closure or something. But anyways, somebody's victory is not going to be loud in this matter. So the collective, if you're having somebody that's obsessive, who's probing and doing unethical things to gain some sort of information over you so they can control you, dominate you, or handle you in some way. Could be somebody who's trying to get a promotion so that they can control their employees, but way too controlling. I mean, this is not going to be a good supervisor. Um, this if this person becomes a supervisor at a job, it's a nightmare. Um, but yeah, so victory doesn't have to be loud. You don't have to expose anyone for whatever they're doing to you. It may actually be something that's quietly handled. I also don't see too. Somebody may be actually fixated and searching about your money. So somebody's thinking that success is going to look a certain way, and yeah, somebody is looking at your finances or potential way of making money. It's almost like it's giving me like somebody who has a lot of damn money and somebody's coming in to say, "Hey, can I be your conservator?" It's giving that kind of vibe. Somebody's also see success in a very odd way. Um, if somebody ends up getting some sort of money or some sort of notoriety, you may want to keep it to yourself. This person is not going to handle it well. This is almost like somebody yelling at you for being successful. Um, it's giving that kind of vibes. Like somebody, it's almost Lord Spirit. Why you had to show me that? Um, I ain't gonna repeat that. Never mind. But what is giving to the collective? Yeah, somebody's really obsessed about what you're getting or what your potential is. And if this is a job, this is almost like a really pissed off coworker who called five other coworkers about you, and they want to see how much you're getting from this new promotion you're supposed to be getting, and then they're losing their freaking mind and how they're trying to scout out or survey, like seek out information about you to tarnish your image or reputation and almost manhandle you because you're, supposed to be the new manager at this position or whatever. So whatever it is giving somebody who's extremely toxic to the point where it's causing them to expose themselves just based on the actions they have done for a little too long. And they had never been set into corrective boundaries. It's now getting to a point where it's explosive. I'm not gonna say explosive, but embarrassingly exposing themselves in the actions they have done for a long time that nobody really has tapered or addressed. So in the whole overall segment of this is that whatever is happening in the collective, uh, somebody may have been a very emotionally heavy. That's going to come to a pause at some point. It's going to come to a pause if you're navigating spaces that feels like you're entangled in something where somebody's being performative or emotionally heavy, which is a very narcissistic, toxic situation. You do need to really ask yourself, does this create clarity or confusion? So somebody could be right in your space that is causing you to be maybe in confusion. Oh, that's what they want. Um, Someone may come up to you to invite you to something. You need to see if it's going to bring you clarity or confusion. Maybe somebody's going to be emotionally unavailable, and maybe they're going to come up to you and act super charming and amazing, and then all of a sudden you hang out with them and they have no emotions whatsoever. It could be something that could cause confusion if you're not giving the higher discernment and being around them. Also, to see that it does require for you to ask the questions: will this person have integrity over loyalty? So, this is another question you may want to ask yourself dealing with this person. Um, so, you may realize that this person may have been doing some corruptive things and you need to stop feeding it. This is maybe like a friend, somebody that's hanging around, child. You know how you get one of them friends that end up hanging around doing something crazy, and nobody really said anything. They're just trying to be supportive, and now somebody's gonna have to kind of stop it. They're gonna have to turn to their friend and go, "Look, man, or look, girl, you've been doing this for a long time, and this toxicity has to be put to an end." Blah blah blah. Like somebody's gonna have to address them, I'm not sure who it is, but somebody's going to address them in some sort of way. It's also showing too to be more discerning about spiritual gifts that people have. It doesn't mean like your spiritual intuition shouldn't make you like cold, but it should make you free, light, and happy. So again, watch what the collective is feeling out there with your spiritual, not just your spiritual gifts. I'm talking about the people's spiritual gifts as well. It shouldn't be the spiritual gifts shouldn't have this cold malice aura. And you can see the spiritual maturity in people in the collective if you really pay attention. So if you're dealing with anyone who's currently going through some sort of um, weaponizing information, and they're ego driven and they're pulling you into some sort of triangulation, maybe a third party. I feel like someone has pulled someone into some drama that you may not be aware of, collective. There may be something happening behind your back through gossip and or through some sort of narrative, and it's ego driven to interfere with you in some way, and it's causing something in regards to your identity and being inclusive, but something the optics is not right. Again, somebody's too image based, somebody's very image based more than they have an integrity, and it's not going to matter in the long run. They need to lean on truth. And so somebody, maybe a group of friends, maybe a job, a group of people at a job, whatever it is, they're masquerading in some sort of illusion. Um, and you just need to focus on having whatever this victory is, it's going to come through you with intuition and boundaries, and you're just going to be a quiet, you're going to have a quiet victory. It's not going to be some fireworks or anything like that. But be aware if someone is using some sort of very invasive dirt digging, trying to, they end up exposing their own insecurities in doing so. The more they try to dig information about you, and they're trying to dominate with this information to have some sort of power over you. Again, like a handler, like you're not capable, you can't do this, you can't do that, and let me do it for you. Come hang out with me. Somebody's trying to lower spirits, or somebody's trying to do something, but the overall situation is that someone has also been impersonating you as well through some sort of emotional manipulation. And that's collapsing, by the way, because people are starting to see the clarity now. And one last thing, this lack based, if you got friends that are lack based or having some fear of poverty, it's going to keep this cycle, it's going to keep them stuck if they don't get out of it. And they need to jump into some sort of integrity based path to create this freedom of this lack from away from this lack environment. Right now, they have leaned and gotten themselves stuck in a poverty conscious mindset, and the action is loud and clear. And the only way they're going to get out of it if they need a resolution is to start switching into integrity based. It's funny because it's like somebody has been out of control for so long and doing whatever the hell they want to the point where they have made people stuck in some way. And if they want that freedom, they're going to have to get into some sort of boundaries that they never had or never addressed before. And usually, sometimes certain people you hang out with, you just let them do whatever, and they just sail away and doing a whole lot of stuff that could impact the entire group or an organization. And the group is gonna. I see a man coming to somebody saying, "You're gonna have to stop because this has got to stop now, and now we need to get out of this, and you need to get into some boundaries. Quit it, so we can get out of our whatever this stuck energy they have. I don't know, whatever this energy is, they're stuck like gorilla glue. And until they get into integrity, they're not gonna move. And I see somebody has to get up, and they're not gonna. Whoever's getting up is not gonna be happy. I see them getting up in this frustrated energy and just going up to somebody's face and saying, "You're gonna have to quit it, or I'm gonna make you quit." Don't know how that's gonna turn out, but somebody's gonna say something because this whole group has been impacted in some kind of crazy stuck energy, and they are not getting out of this energy based on somebody who has some sort of an obsession to impersonate you, to or to control you through your gifts, and they want to handle you. When I mean handle you, I mean handle you like your success, your money, what direction you're going, and somebody's gonna have to come and put it into it for them to be able to move. So I guess what it was saying is for them trying to make you stuck, got them stuck. That's what it's giving collective. Them being involved in your business got them stuck in their own business. Okay? Whatever it is, they could be dealing with some kind of stuck energy and it's stuck like gorilla glue until they let whatever this lack based energy is. And they need to let, if they want to get out of it, they gotta let it go. Whatever this is, they're gonna just have to stop what it is because it's causing them to fall into serious stagnation. I see a drought, but I ain't gonna say that, but it's giving a drought. So you don't need to expose this corruption if people are feeling like you are going to expose people. Let's cut that off right now and say that I say to the collectors, don't worry about exposing. The truth is coming out by itself, to be honest. You don't need to participate. Just stop participating. Stop feeding it. And collective, I just think that a lot of people have been through this long enough to the point where when it stops, everybody stops, and don't keep bringing it back up. Don't be running around town about how you was a victim. I just don't think this is where if you want the freedom, then you're gonna have to accept the peace in the situation. Just be calm, accept the peace in the situation, and then go on from there. I think these people are real more worried about being called out by name than anything else. And I think the collective just needs to not do that and be able to pick up whatever stuff that they got and move on. And that's where I say, that's where it seems like it could go, but there is some interference of somebody who wants to show up like they're a leader and they want to just be all up in your business. That's the weird part. I mean, they trying to act like I'm your pusher. Well, that's how they acting. And they don't have no right. They don't have no right to do that. Whatever they're doing is so out of bounds, and someone will step in because it's creating a whole stuck environment for this whole entire friend group or your job, whatever it is. This leader may be getting some higher up communication, um somebody higher up is going to come to somebody and have some sort of conversation to put something to an end, because it's causing some sort of exposure that's very unpleasant and nobody wants to be exposed, and so that's what it's giving. Um so that's the main thing. People who have spiritual gifts, you got to understand your maturity as well. You got to be humble with your spiritual knowledge or your spiritual gifts, because your ego can definitely enter into the building and clarity will exit. As much as you say, hey, I'm a psychic being, if you're living in your ego, a lot of that is going to be delusional, made up, or maybe manipulated to a degree where truth leaves the building. And the last thing I say in regards to this reading, um, victory is going to be silent. So don't expect any confrontations. It's just going to be a quiet closure, like it's over, that's it. And if you want to go in peace, you better start living in peace and don't worry about letting everybody know what, and with, what map, the boom, whoever you think it is that's been doing this very negative thing to you. You made clear you know who it is, but it's not for everybody to rehash and discuss at this time. So if something is required, confusion for you to survive, it is not aligned, okay, collective? And so if somebody has been living in this confusion for a very long time so that they could survive, is not aligned. That's all I can say. And so the collective, don't be a part of accepting something that has glamour, maybe something that you thought was truth, that somebody has been dirt digging in regards to someone in the community. It seems to be all some sort of way of setting something up so that they can appear some sort of way. They want somebody to see people. Somebody wants to make someone look a certain way that is not very positive. And this is where they're trying to speak like they're telling the truth and they're intuitive. Maybe they're abusing their spiritual gifts or spiritual position to make it whatever they're saying about this person seem valid and true. And the entire time they have been lying and has been causing someone some sort of emotional or physical harm the entire time just so that they can control them for their talent, knowledge, or money. They want to be their handler in a sense. If they can't control them, they want to be them all together. So it's not a very pleasant situation. But somebody's going to probably have to step in that's going to be in a higher position because whatever's happening is happening to the whole organization. It's getting exposed somehow. In any case, collective, I hope this helped. Thank you for joining Intentional Conversations. Choose clarity, choose steadfastness, stay steady, collective, stay calm, and choose yourself. All right, peace out.